Hello everyone, my name is Azedin El Ouafi. I'm a scriptwriter and a film critic. Now today I'm going to present on this online workshop how to make a short documentary. Of course, it's not very comprehensive, but it is an initial and a first step towards having a general idea over the topic. Now, of course, the main challenge filmmakers may have is to find a very original idea. Now, ideas might be found in newspapers, while watching TV, while talking to someone, but there are many millions of documentaries, and especially when you are talking about creative documentary. So originality is a very scarce and rare coin that is you can find on YouTube, on Vimeo, and by the way, you can familiarize yourself by watching the documentaries made by other filmmakers to see how they approach the topic, how they film their material, how they use the voice and the visuals in that material. But of course, you are not going to make a documentary that has been made hundreds of times by others. For example, let's take just a documentary on agriculture or on history or ethnography, because there are different types of documentary, and you are not going to repeat what have been done, what others have been doing, so it's nonsense. So you have to be very creative, very original, and at least find topics that means a lot to you. Now, before starting your planning, many people think that making a documentary doesn't require a script. Well, it's not true. Here you can make a difference between a fiction film and documentary film. Now, all of them share the cinematography, the preparation, going to real places, see how your actors are going to respond. Of course, there are many differences between shaping a story for fiction and shaping it for documentary, because actors are paid, they are really playing the mise en scène, you are telling them how to play. If you don't want that, you tell them to repeat. So you pay them for what they are doing, and that's the difference between a spot filming on the spot, I mean what you call cinéma de vérité or vérité. So the story, before launching yourself, you got to find your concept and shape it, and find the sequences and the fluidity of events that you are going to make. Now, of course, if you don't like what you are doing, if you don't choose a topic that means a lot to you, it's not going to be faithful. So you have to choose something that you love, you like, you admire, you want others to share your view on it. So second point is to make research. Now, I think even fiction requires research, but mainly documentary, it is called doc. So you are going to base yourself on documents, on making a lot of research, on collecting photos, videos, maybe going to libraries, visiting sites, maybe relying on archives and so on. So when you get to the step of screenwriting, script writing, Of course, script writing is a reshuffling and the continued reshuffling of the main concepts, because you have to tackle with characters, space, time, tone, how you are going to arrange the narration according to the three story arcs and so on. Now, you don't have to be afraid, because script writing is a period that requires time, concentration. You have to write what you want to write and leave it, maybe even forget it aside, and then come back to it, maybe give it to some script writers or friends who should be harsh on you, on their judgment, not just say it's good. And make an outline. Now, an outline is a very general concept of what you're gonna write about, and the tone, if you want to be your documentary very sarcastic, maybe very dramatic, maybe sometimes you can even make some comic situations, black humor. Now, of course, any documentary or even films requires a character who is going to take the action ahead. So, starting it in a very banal way doesn't mean a lot to your audience. So you have to make as many hooks as possible to attract and make the viewer interested since the beginning, since the start of your documentary. Now, the differences also between fiction and documentary is that while you go filming on certain sites, certain places, it's not an easy way to do, because you have to get familiar with persons you are going to film. Maybe they want, maybe they don't want. It's a hard time. It's an ongoing process, because many filmmakers, while making documentary, they just want to get into the core of the atmosphere, see how the sounds are, get familiar with the characters, who are, most of the time, they are the actors and they are doing what they are doing. For example, a butcher is a butcher, a lawyer is someone who does his job. That's why it's not reasonable, it's not even logic to seek someone who is going to play the role of a lawyer. So the characters need to have to carry the message of what you will have in mind. So they are going through actions, and you are going to film them through all those actions, and they are going to, preferably it is said that while filming a character, he should be doing an action. He just not should be talking. And here you find a certain balance between, for example, even while filming the BRoll, that means the audio side of your documentary, you can make you can take some music from somewhere, you can make some audio, you make interviews, and even you can documentary are very known for the voice over on the film. So that's the BRoll, and the BRoll is the cinematographic aspects. It means what shot are you going to make, traveling, any lighting very particular. Generally speaking, while making a documentary is a very economic material. I mean, you don't need a lot of stuff, you don't need a lot of microphones, but just the necessary. And here you are going to find, while making and fomenting the ideas in your head, that the story is going to take shape So on different levels, because if you are not the script writer himself, then you need to someone who is going to film that, a DOP, and you need a very, at least a limited staff on whom you can rely. But before getting into that area, I mean, intellectual and imaginative processes are very important, and on that side, you got to control what you are writing, what you are doing, and maybe not even saying all what you want to say, because you have, everything should be on the paper, as De Niro said. So while on the set, it is a natural set, it is a real set, it's not fabricated, it's a mise en scène that it is everyday life. There you may choose and you may confront different coincidences and different unexpected events that come and may be added to your script. So here you have to be very clever enough to exploit them as much as you can. For example, a bird flying or a cat passing around, or something that was unexpected and it is not in the story. Then you have to make it interwoven into your story to give it as much richness as you can.